Hey man, it's Kyle. Yeah, I know I sent you a message on how I was gonna ask if it was okay to do like a video response, and I'm still trying to figure it out, but my girlfriend told me like, hey, here's where you gotta go. I said I'm still trying to figure out YouTube. It's not that difficult. I wonder if that's the cop that's coming back. Hold on. I had a video and the fucking piggy came by and drove by real slow and then fucking stopped and turned around. No. But, yeah, I wasn't going to do a video response. I was going to wait for you to be like, hey, yeah, it's cool, you know, this and that. Until I saw your, you know, video about girls on your mind and how you want responses so bad. So that, you know, just made my morals and my respectfulness jump right out the fucking window, along with my other morals, like waiting to have sex until I'm married. So, yeah, this video won't be too long. I'll probably do one on my site, so if you want to check that out, that'd be awesome. There's quite a few similarities as far as childhood goes. My dad, like, never pushed me to be what I wasn't. My grandparents did, you know, and I'm just going to touch on some of the things that you mentioned on that as quickly as possible, because we got a lightning storm going on, so yeah, probably not the brightest idea to be out here. Oh well. Unfortunately, I haven't quit smoking like you have. I'm working on that. But, yeah. I am obviously post-T, post-op, and as my other video stated, video's gonna be shaking everywhere. I don't have the little ghetto stand rigged up on the side of my bed of the truck, so you'll just have to deal with that. There's always something, like, I felt like there's always something different with me. Like, I never connected myself to be with one of the girls. Like, that's just how it was. I felt, you know, just like one of the guys, I guess you could say. Like, even though I guess I could say I felt like one of the guys, but at the same time, like, I knew I wasn't a boy. But that wasn't until later on in my life. Like, when I was, like, 5 and 6 years old, it didn't really hit me that I was even a female, because I never considered myself to be one. Like, I didn't make that connection. And I just figured, you know, I am who I am. I like to do sports and play with the guys and be rough and, you know, wrestle and break shit and blame it on the other person. Yeah. So I'm trying not to get distracted, but all the flashing going on over here and my ADD is just going haywire. Let's see. I'd very much dress like a guy. I'd be playing football. Up until I was like 14 years old, I actually got caught playing basketball with my shirt off with the boys over here at the high school in the back. By my grandma, that was an interesting little thing. Because I could actually do that. I didn't actually start developing until later on. Like, all that great stuff until about, actually, like, my 16th birthday. But I used to cut my hair short and everything else, and, you know, back then, you know, it was acceptable for my grandma. You know, she didn't have a problem with letting me do it, and my dad had a problem. You know, why don't you dress like this? You know, mainly because I was always wearing a lot of black and everything else, and but he never pressured me to be someone that I wasn't, and you know, I'm so thankful for that, but I still haven't come out to him. I'm just petrified. It's for the first time in my life I'm afraid to talk to my dad about something. Because, you know, I'm worried that he won't take it the way that he did when I was gay, considering that he actually kind of came to me on it. But I'm hoping that, you know, it's the same type of ordeal where, you know, maybe it's a little bit easier for him, because I, you know, especially with my childhood, the way that I did act and everything else. And I actually had the childhood friend, my buddy Josh. We actually have the exact same birthday, just 2 years apart. We grew up together, like his mom and my dad grew up together, so, you know, of course we played together a lot and everything else. We used to take baths together and everything else, and I actually kind of went through the same thing where I'd be like, you know, you'd look at, you know, I'd look at him and then I'd look at myself and be like, you know, it's like, why am I different, you know? But, you know, when you're that age, like, you don't really make that connection. And I didn't even come out as gay until, you know, after 18. I didn't even really figure it out until then, because I had a lot of my sports, you know, with my, especially my motocross racing. Whoa. That I didn't worry about relationships of any sort. And it wasn't until I got injured that I really kind of, you know, I wasn't riding or anything like that, and, you know, I had more time to actually have a social life like that. You know, it's not the type of social life that I wanted, because I love being at the tracks and with all my racing buddies and everything else. That's what I liked. But yeah, it wasn't until then that I even found out. So I mean, obviously you kind of came out a couple of years earlier than I did, but it didn't even dawn on me. You know, and I tried being with a couple guys, you know, not really anything sexual, but just kind of experimenting, and, you know, it never felt right. And then I kind of decided, you know, maybe I like, you know, this and that, and I've noticed that I had an attraction to girls, and so I labeled myself as, like, bisexual for a while, and, you know, I finally just was like, alright, I, you know, realized in myself that, hey, you know, oh, you know, I like this, you know, girls, this is how it is, and I felt really good. But then, like, since then, there still feels like there was something that's been missing, and, you know, it didn't, you know, even labeling myself Stone Butch or whatever, it doesn't fill that hole. And then, like, I've stumbled across, you know, the whole transgender thing, and I kind of looked into it, and then I found all these groups on YouTube and everything else, and I think it's been a great fucking experience. And I don't know, but yeah, as far as the whole, the biggest thing that I made a connection with was the school thing. I actually went to a Catholic school, and I used to get teased all the time. One, because I was the poor person of, you know, of everybody there, and you went through the same class every year, like with the same people. You never got different people, so of course, you know, once you're the brunt of every joke, you know, you continue to stay that way. And unlike you, though, I actually didn't get teased by the guys. I was accepted by the guys. I'd always be one of the first people to be picked in dodgeball and everything else. And, you know, when we played baseball or basketball or any other sports or in gym class or anything, I'd always be one of the, you know, the first people chosen, always. And, you know, they'd want me to sit down and eat lunch with them and this and that. I always got teased by the girls. And I could definitely connect with, I don't know what grade it was, but I can definitely connect with going into the bathroom. And I remember that so well, that, you know, I went into the bathroom and I just got that and it was an old enough age where the girls have learned to be snooty and all full of fucking attitude, and, you know, I'm better than everybody else point of their lives. Not that all girls are like that, so for anybody else that's gonna watch this, that's not what I'm saying. But yeah, you know, being told that, you know, you're in the wrong bathroom, what are you doing in here, you know? And it wasn't just like, oh, you're in the wrong bathroom. I mean, they really, like, attacked me on it. Like, I actually had a scenario where someone came in and they had a bottle of water, and they, like, threw that all over me and everything else like that. I had some run-ins in the bathroom. So, and I remember at that age, back when I used to pray and everything else like that, when I believed in that, you know, I used to go to bed every night, you know, and I'd cry, and I'd pray and pray and pray that I'd wake up the next day, that I'd be a boy, and then, you know, everything would be, and I just thought that maybe I wanted that because it'd be easier and I'd stop being teased. But now I see that that's not really the case, that there's actually another reason for that. And, as I said, you know, there's just a lot of things with my childhood. I used to do everything possible to get out of school. I would always be sick and this and that, you know, or I wouldn't be able to go to school, or I'd have to leave school early. And it wasn't until I was transferred from that school that kind of stopped happening, but it still, you know, happened a little bit here and there, because I still wasn't happy. I was still getting teased a lot and everything else. But yeah, this is probably longer than, oh, nope, it's like 8 minutes, so I normally don't check the time. So yeah, I'm gonna have to cut this pretty short then. I'll further elaborate it if you want me to. I'll go into, you know, more in-depth experiences and things of that sort. I would love to, and you got the right idea about, you know, having other people share their stories, and it helps figure it out, because, I mean, that's exactly what I'm going through right now. And, you know, watching other people go through their transition or talk about it, you know, and that's just helping me to figure myself out even further, you know, to where, I mean, it's something I'm sure I'd stumble across later on down the road, but, like, you know, it's just helping me to figure it out sooner and get somewhere faster, hopefully. You know, I'm stressed because I feel like I need to start moving forward somehow, and I'm just stuck. But yeah, the whole dress thing, completely understand that one too. I got stuck into a dress for my first communion, hated that with a freaking passion. They sat me down and had to curl my hair and everything else like that. Oh my god, that was the most miserable day of my life, and my dad was like crying because he was all happy and everything. But yeah, I've never worn a skirt. You can't get me. I did it one day for like one of my first days of school that I can remember, and I've never worn one since. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna cut this before it gets way too long, and it is, so I'm out.